Hello, this is Sanad here, and welcome back to Model Kit Monday. It's been a little while, went to Power Morphagon, had to recover from Power Morphagon, and I had to build a kit that got me energized, and this is certainly one. We're looking at the real grade Wing Gundam EW version. There's not a regular TV version for the real grade. Both the real grade and I believe the Master Grade 2.0 opted to go with the EW version of the Wing Gundam. Now this is the version that appears in the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz manga, which is a retelling of the series that incorporates elements of the Endless Waltz OVA series, as well as wrapping itself into having one continuous story with a similar design setup. So this is closer, honestly closer to the Wing Zero from the TV series, but it's kind of a new take on the Wing Gundam. And I actually really like this. The TV version, as you can see on the left here, represented by the high grade After Colony release, is very basic. It's very easy to animate, very simple, while the EW version is much more complex. For the manga artists, they were able to do more intense work, and I like seeing the real grade take on the EW approach as it gives it a little bit more detail, especially when you're building this more complicated kit. Taking a closer look at the Wing Gundam EW, I love the color separation. Mind you, I've done no panel lining on this kit, and I think it looks really good. I have added in some of the shinier stickers to give it a little bit of a gleam, but overall I don't even think it needs a panel lining job all that much. The separation from parts really does the trick to give us kind of a well-rounded look. I love the primary color usage of white in addition to the red, blue, and yellow. It's really cool how the yellow is used sparingly to give it as an accent color. The articulation-wise, really good stuff here. It uses a standard real grade frame, which is pretty good. It does have some nice torso movement. In addition to head movement, the legs get full range. The joints feel really tight too. I do like this frame. The joints do also slide, so panels do slide as you move the knee, and the kneecap cover itself can move as well. Getting things lined back up is a little tricky, but you can do it. The foot here does pivot, bend, toe joint, everything. It's all the joints you could want in a foot. The shoulders, they are a little tricky because the shoulder pads are a little loose. On mine, seems to be a universal case. The shoulders do move forward, the shoulder pads move out, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, you know, the usual kind of stuff. Plus, ball jointed wrist, really nice. The wings themselves actually do have some range of movement. They move up and down. You can also move them in and out. They rotate as well. Plus, there's some additional movement in the wings for different positioning, as well as two tiny Vulcan guns that pop up out of the chest. Love that detail so much. Now, there are also articulated hands that are part of the base frame. I'm not a big fan of these. They don't really hold anything too well, and they're kind of hard to use. You also get regular holding hands and open hands for more dynamic posing. You include a Heero Yuy that is 1 to 144 scale, which means it's really, really tiny. Like, really tiny. But it's cool. Moving on to the Buster Rifle. This is a very long gun. It's much longer than the Buster Rifle for the Wing Gundam, even longer than the Wing Gundam Endless Waltz version from the OVA. It's a massive weapon, and it looks really cool at the same time. It's very basic with gray, yellow, and blue as its only colors. But they do have little details such as the weapon canisters for the energy being able to be removed. Now, equipping the Buster Rifle is pretty easy. There's a nice peg in the handle, which I always appreciate. For Gunpla, it helps keep things more secure. Once the Wing Gundam has it holding, it kind of balances them out. With the Wing Gundam itself, it's really hard to balance the kit when he has the wings pulled back but doesn't have anything in his hands. He will tip forward. So you want to have the wings back a little bit so he doesn't look so flat, but the gun will balance that out. So will the shield. It's actually pretty cool how that all works. But overall, Buster Rifle's really cool. The next piece is the shield. Now, the shield is very similar to the TV version. There are some modifications. I did like how the TV version had storage for a beam rifle where the shield would fold down and the beam Saber handle would pop out. But in this case, you get kind of a better, sturdier shield, which actually clips on really well. It does clip onto the inside of the arm and then folds around, which I think looks great. You can also swap it to switch sides. You don't have to have it on the left arm, which I think is a nice touch. It gives you options for your Gunpla. Of course, the beam saber handle is still stored in here. It's on a small peg, which can break. It did break on mine. But as you can see, he holds the beam saber quite well, and I do like the green color. This is something that's come up, I think, when discussing the Wing Gundam's design, is that they chose to do a green beam saber instead of the traditional pink or the yellow we see as well. Green is very much an uncommon beam saber color, and I do really appreciate the fact that this kit does include more than one beam. There is only one beam saber handle because that is accurate, but it does include 2 green beams, so I could use this other beam for something else. Moving on, the clip for the standard Gundam action-based clip actually has an extra attachment point. You can attach it between the legs, or you can attach it to the backpack, which allows you to attach to a stand. I much prefer the backpack edition. Now, before we take a look at its transformation into the bird mode, there's 2 extra parts. These are energy cartridge pods. There's no version of this on the TV design, and they're strictly for the EW version, but they have more pods for the Buster Rifle. Transforming to the bird mode is kind of a mess. This is the problem I have with Gunpla and their transformations. A lot of bird modes, a lot of Wave Rider modes. They don't seem to really plan things out. They work beautifully in the series as they just convert back and forth and they're able to fly. But in model kit form, you kind of are just pushing joints into places and hoping they stay, because most of the time there's nothing locking them in. For example, the legs work on the friction and the tightness of the joints present through the frame, and that's it. They will just hang out back there. Now, while accurate to the actual design in the series or in the manga, it does leave a little bit to be desired in a model kit. I do think the nice connection between the Buster Rifle and the shield should be more of how things should work. That connects together really easily and it holds secure. In addition to plugging into the backpack area on the back of the Wing Gundam, as well as protecting the V-fin really well. The bird mode also has the weapon canister pods attaching to the bottom, which kind of gives it an idea of like Bombay type weaponry. You could drop those over combat, which I think looks really cool. Now, there is one other cool thing, is that you get a specific stand clip for the bird mode, which plugs in pretty well, and you can attach it to a stand. Now, I do need to note the stand I am using in this review is from the, I believe it's the Transient Gundam. So there is no stand included, but any Gundam action-based type will work with this kit. Overall, the bird mode does look nice for what it is. It's nothing I'm going to display them in. It's just kind of something I say for a lot of transformed states of Gundams. Overall, real grade Wing Gundam EW is actually a really good kit. A lot of real grades can be hit or miss. I love real grades to death, but I have to acknowledge that there's some faults. I think one of the worst ones that I've experienced is the real grade Sananju, which just is a casualty of the frame it's using. I think more specialized frames for kits in the real grade line, such as what they did with the Unicorn and the Banshee Norn and the Unicorn Bandanse and the Unicorn Full Armor and hopefully a Fenix if they ever freaking make it, stuff like that seems to work out, and it sounds like the real grade Sazabi has solved this issue too. But when you're looking for real grades, the 2 things that will knock it down is frame and transformation. The transformation for the real grade Zeta ended up killing that kit for a lot of people, and the frame problems exist in other kits. Now, luckily, the Wing Gundam EW does not suffer from that. It's got a wide range of accessories, great expressiveness, good articulation, transformation that does not ruin the design of the kit, and the frame is perfect for the size of mobile suit this is. So this is pretty much the closest you can get to a perfect real grade. I think that the design leads well to the real grade style, as well as the fact that it doesn't get hindered by frame problems or transformation issues. This is a solid kit, and really you can't go wrong with it. So unless you're super attached to the TV version, I highly recommend the real grade Wing Gundam EW over the high grade After Colony release for your 1:144 scale needs. Of course, there's also Master Grade, Perfect Grade for those of you that love those scales, and I think they made the EW version of the Wing Gundam in both. So anyways, that does it for this review. Be sure to stay tuned for Model Kit Monday, every Monday here on Soundout 12. Also check out Metal Ninja Talks Gundam Live, which I appeared on this week for discussion of Victory Gundam. Until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.